And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am sorry for a no sound. Oh, God. See, I come home from work, and of course, there's technical difficulties. Never mind the 3 hours I use setting up all of this stuff. This battle super emotional. Thanks, Eli. I think we should be good now.
There I am.
Are we?
Got her.
Are we? Is it gonna be nice to me?
Maybe. I think there was sound. I just think you hadn't gone live, and because there's a big delay, so they might have said no sound when it was the stream.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
So you might be good.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat. It has been a very hot minute. My computer is deciding to lag out at the last minute. I'm just gonna stop touching things and hope to God it works.
I'll just tell you, it feels great that it's not me. That's the best part of guesting on other streams. Is I'm like, if there's technical difficulties, I know there's nothing I can do. It's nothing on my end.
Yeah, we finally hit a point where NoNat, your entire career is just get to other people and hoping to God OBS will work.
Basically, yeah. No, that's half of content creation is hoping OBS will work.
Alright, they can hear us.
I love RFC. NoNat, why is he here? I mean, I can leave. I'm assuming that's Steven. I can leave.
Oh no, you don't. You don't gotta do that. Why would you? Why would you ever?
Frozen. Why am I frozen?
Because I'm telling you, why is my webcam so far bad? Why is the chat not updating it? Why
unprofessional this?
It worked. I promise everyone. I set it all up perfectly, and then apparently every URL decided to change at the last second. And I had it all. It was perfect. It was looking beautiful. And I have no idea why my webcam is lagging to this extent. But
is it lagging on your computer?
It's lagging on my I can't tell because the stream is lagging, and then so if I go to reference the stream, I see it lagging. It's all. Bear with me, okay? We're getting there. I will mess with this when we start getting into the homebrew stuff.
RFC, you give me a date and a time, and I'm there. Oh my gosh! Thank you
for everyone else. Hello, hi.
Hi guys.
We're getting there. We're getting there as a stream. I promise. Look who
the stream's over. We might be ready to start.
Yeah. Look who I got. No, not smooth. James' mouth. I'm gonna throw up a promotional picture of me. How about that? We're gonna, as I fix my webcam. Guys, I hope. Why did I name myself already? Oh God, I'm so sorry. But anyways, guys, I managed to steal NoNat for a day. Who thought this was gonna be possible? Enjoy this commissioned work that I got of myself. We all can thank Mika Draws for this one, as my webcam will now go out for a hot minute. But you should still be able to hear me, so that should be good. I hope. So enjoy James, but animated, as NoNat will be fine. But for the rest of us, you have tipping. Guys, I have everything enabled. I'm telling you right now, this is purely because I was talking with Eli ahead of stream, and I was just like, I have it all set up. It's perfect. It's ready to go. All I have to do is hit start. It'll work perfectly. And then I realized as soon as I said the text saying, oh, it'll run smoothly, everything is fine, I was like, no, the universe will immediately go into plan 2. So
see, here's the thing. At least it's just video stuff, and it sounds like audio is fine.
Yeah, so you guys could hear me. So in the VOD, you guys could make fun of me in the chat later. But I think I can hide myself. It should run a little smoother. If it's not, we're gonna keep up animated James. But I will fix it all when we get to a breaking point. Hot tub stream? No, we're not. I have no idea why this is running so badly. It should refresh at some point. It
Have you
doesn't
streamed with this
matter.
computer before?
I have. This is what's
Mhm.
annoying. I've done plenty of streams. We're
Huh.
gonna keep the animated James up for now until I can figure out why my life is becoming what it is. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna power through my talking points. Hello, welcome. I managed to steal NoNat. Let's talk about bad homebrew.
Let's go.
So, NoNat, you do a lot of homebrewing.
I
I
do.
do a lot of homebrewing. It's kind of my job, but you do a lot more homebrewing in terms of your home games.
Mhm.
What does that look like? What is your favorite parts about it? Talk as long as possible.
Well, you see, James, my favorite part of home. I'm giving you time. I'm gonna vamp. Go, go,
Yeah,
go, go,
yeah,
go.
yeah. You got this. You
Of
got this. You got
home.
this.
Honestly, it's just catering the game to my table. I homebrew different amounts and different levels for different tables. And if my group is super into to high power, high different like ultimate crazy combo moves that don't exist, I'm more than happy to give it to them and then give them challenges that match that. But if they want something a little more low fantasy, a little more classic rules as written, I'll keep my homebrew to a minimum. But when I do homebrew, regardless of my table, is always story and setting. I will typically use the base setting. Like in my Pathfinder games, I am using Galarian, but I will change a lot of things. Like one of the big things I'm changing in my current campaign is how the Aeon orbs work and how they exist. I don't want to say too much because they haven't learned too much about them, but right now the Aeon orbs are a major factor in my Pathfinder, one of my Pathfinder 2e campaigns, and they're working completely different than how they're actually written in base Galarian lore. Uh, I'm also 100% about changing locations, changing cities, adjusting cities as needed, putting things in places where there's technically nothing. Nothing is ever as written 100% for me. Typically, when it comes to classes, I won't homebrew too much. I won't homebrew feats. I won't homebrew subclasses typically. At least we haven't gotten to that point yet. But I will homebrew equipment all the time to give my players some really cool options available to them, typically by reskinning things that already exist. Um, Off the top of my head, I gave our Catfolk Rogue was going to die, but made a deal with Gosra, the deity of nature, to stay alive. But in return, one of her arms was replaced by an entirely wooden arm that can talk, named Rare. He has a Scottish accent, and it's hilarious and really fun to roleplay. Um, but Rare also he's also a 1d4 slashing claw weapon. So the rogue can sneak attack with her own sharp wooden claws as part of having that wooden arm. So it's nothing like over the top and super overpowered, but it is really fun.
See, my general experience with it is the more overpowered, the more insane it is, the more players are going to love it, and therefore
Mhm.
it needs to be more aggressively overpowered as possible. You need
That's
to be
totally
able to
fair.
break the rules. I need someone to throw a core rule book at me because I broke basic mechanics. Get your 20th action out in your turn. Get your bonus action in there as well. Get 21 actions in a round.
Oh, absolutely. And my 3.5 edition D&D campaign that I'm playing in is exactly that. Like my DM gives us insane abilities and gives us challenges to match. Like I'm playing a rapier critical focused fighter, but I also have a dancing rapier, and we've given me the special ability that if I am flanking with my dancing rapier, I think I'm level 9, but I can make 7 attacks per turn, like
Holy
piercing
shoot.
through, and I get the flanking bonus with my dancing sword. And it's all this really cool because basically I start fencing with my dancing rapier, just skewering the opponent between us. It's really, really cool.
That definitely sounds interesting. Also, for all you guys who are just joining and hopefully did not see anything that just went down because nothing went down, I think my
Nothing.
cameras should be up and running now. Should be fine. I have news not even NoNat knows about this stream that I wanted to share with you guys. You guys
Oh,
stay till for a while and you get to hang out. We're dropping a new animated video right on this stream.
what?
That's right. We're getting a finished animated video. It's ready to go. We're dropping it live on stream. You guys got to stay around and watch though. So that means you also have
Sure.
to participate. and help us with the homebrew. Because if it's just me and NoNat, then this could have just been a Discord call, and that's pretty boring.
Exactly.
Swashbuckler versus fighter. Go. Swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler's more interesting and more fun to play. Fighter overall is more effective.
Yep, I agree.
Not that fighters cannot. Not that fighters can't be interesting to play. I just mean that they're base mechanics.
No, all fighters are boring. All right, I've seen power attack too many times. All right, get some new feats in there. All right, I want to start seeing combat assessment being used properly.
Please, somebody make an intelligence fighter. Come on.
Yeah, don't chalk that up to other classes, all right? Don't give that to the mastermind, rogue, or investigator. No, I need to see intelligence to be your key ability score.
Oh, my word. That's an interesting homebrew. Would you do that, where you remove class key ability scores and allow them to pick their own? Like, it wouldn't change the ability score that affects your class DC, but just because you're a fighter doesn't mean you have to pick strength or dex.
Ooh, that's a good question. I think
Right?
if the build called for, like, let's say I'm doing a very intelligence-based fighter, I think I would actually allow even the class DC ability score to change, depending on your character. I'm a very, like, if your character, like, you want to do it with your character, like, that's, do it. Yeah, just go ahead. And as long as it serves you being happy in the game that we're playing, that's all that really matters to me. Because at the end of the day, it's a game, right? Like, what does it matter if your intelligence is like your key ability score on a fighter? Like, charisma could be your paladin, and you can like talk your way through things.
Right? Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And that's why I will never like force my players like, "Oh, you made a decision, guess you're stuck with it forever." Like in my last two campaigns, I've had a character at least one time, it was like pre-level 5. They're like, "Hey, I didn't really plan things out right. I didn't really want this archetype. I haven't used it at all. I know we're level 4, but can I change my level 2 archetype choice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go for it. You haven't even used it. Like, that's totally fine."
Yeah, somebody in the chat actually asked, how would an intelligence-based fighter work? I'm going to actually pose that question to you, because I don't play fighters.
That's fair. So the fighter, they would still need to use strength or dex for their attack rolls, because that's the base rules of the game. You can't change that. But they would be much more about gathering information. With feats like combat assessment, which, if you're not aware, is one action that allows you to make a strike and recall knowledge all for one action.
Which is insane. They would end up,
it's really good action economy, and it's level freaking 1.
Yeah, right?
What people don't realize, and it's because every player in the world is selfish. That's not throwing shade. That's just true. When you recall knowledge, you're not just helping yourself. You're helping your team. Now, I will admit, the usefulness of recall knowledge does depend on your GM. I know a lot of people who will be like, "I recall knowledge. I rolled an 18." And the GM goes, "Yep, that's a troll." End of sentence. That is using recall knowledge wrong. Or as a GM, that's responding wrong. For me, if my player uses recall knowledge and they succeed, normal success, I'm going to tell them what they're fighting, and I'm going to hint at what one of its lowest saving throws is. If they're fighting a troll and they succeed, I say, "Yes, that's a troll." And you remember hearing that mentally they're not the strongest combatants. Whereas if they critically succeed, that's when I'll be like, "That's a troll. Their will saves are horrible, but they are tough as a truck, so their AC and fortitude saves are through the roof."
That's interesting, because I know some other Pathfinder-based YouTube channels have that issue where they're like, I don't want to say Knights of Last Call out loud, but I know that the lead GM is often talking about how with recall knowledge, it's very to the point, and I obviously no shade at Knights of Last Call. We love you guys, but in terms of, from what I've understood them say, is they don't like it when they have to like essentially lie to a player, and so recall knowledge is something that their players often use. But like, if you critically fail a recall knowledge because it was a secret check, like, it's very obvious. If I go, they're weak to ice as a troll, and thus put away all your fire weapons.
So that's another table to table debacle where my players are incredibly good at not metagaming. If one of my players is a wizard and they crit fail and I'm like, yeah, trolls are mega weak to ice, they'll be like, nice, and they'll cast Ray of Frost on the thing.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's something that unfortunately as a GM, that's when it falls back on the player to not metagame. When it's really tough to separate player knowledge from character knowledge, especially when it's mechanics. It's easy to be like, okay, my character doesn't know this other character is evil, but it's really hard to say, okay, my character doesn't know the optimal spell to use in this situation, so I'm not going to use it. There have been so many times as a player, because I just played a wizard recently, where I'm like, I shouldn't know why this works. Oh, we got a spam bot. Nice.
Oh, fun. Hey,
Ooh,
mods, can we get in
yo,
that?
boink. Reported. But I will say, this is pretty much
No one go
unrelated.
there. No one go to that link, by the way.
Are you sure I
Avoid.
shouldn't? You sure? But they've got online strips without clothes. Is it like strips of bacon? Like without
Yeah,
clothes?
yeah, we're gonna see
Nice,
bacon.
dude. I'm hungry. But no, a quasi-related story, which isn't exactly, but I want to tell it because I love this story. I was playing a
Uh-huh.
wizard in 3.5 D&D, and the entire campaign takes place in the Nine Hells, so there's devils everywhere.
Of course.
My wizard was a human who was not used to the Nine Hells, so one of the first combats, he joined at like level 6. One of the first combats, these devil gangsters are like getting ready to beat us up, and they're like holding me by my arms, and I just decided to be this cool guy who's like, okay, and then I cast a spell right at both of them, and I cast Ray of Fire on two devils. So I had this like really badass one-liner. I fire the spell off, the smoke clears, and the two are just kind of standing there like,
Oh my god.
okay.
That's the
I'm like,
ultimate I cast harm on the vampire.
exactly. At least this didn't heal them.
Oh, it's true. The bot came
Oh
back.
god.
No, we told it to go away. It gotta go. Leave us
But oh
alone.
god, how is it still here?
Don't
Report.
know.
Report. Um give me
Hijinks,
a
no,
D
stay away. Stay away from those links. Stay
give
here.
me a D20 roll. Tell me your honest int
Honest,
modifier. I don't know why we're doing this, but I will.
are we? I'm willing to roll
Apparently.
with you if you want.
Let's go. Dude, check out these dice my friend got me for Christmas last year.
Yo, that's
Freaking
so
love these
gorgeous.
dice.
I actually, so while we're buying time to figure out what our actual intelligence modifier is, I'm guessing mine's a +2 at best. And I mean at best, because I could barely read.
Well,
Um,
it's tough because like a 14 is a +2. Like if this is it's just a
that's,
flat
wait,
number, because
isn't 10?
I rolled an 11.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Isn't 10, like the
The
average
average.
human? I'm pretty not smart.
Yeah, I
Like, I'm
rolled an
pretty
11.
average.
I'm
So
straight average.
I got 16. Does that count?
That's a
I'm gonna
plus
give
three,
myself a
dude.
+1. I rolled a 16. I'm gonna give myself a +1. I got a 17. I think my modifier is +1 purely when it comes to Pathfinder. But beyond that, no. I think
Uh,
when it comes to real life skills, it's mostly charisma that gets me through it all.
I'm much more wisdom and common sense focused. My intelligence probably a 12 or a 13 max.
Hmm. I miss the days of having a 13 in Pathfinder.
Right? Yeah. I see. I don't. I really
Oh,
don't.
I
I
don't
think
either.
I'm still upset that they didn't just bite the bullet and get rid of the number completely. But I understand why they didn't. But
So I
hopefully, we'll
think
move towards.
it's so I agree with that because I think honestly when it comes to because monsters don't even use numbers anymore. They just use modifiers. And I think
Exactly.
the monsters and the players should both run on that same like basis system. Like to be
Yeah.
honest, at the end of the day, does knowing I have a 16 really matter? Isn't it like the +3 that
Yeah.
does? I
Exactly. And it's just to keep those older players happy, who that's the way it used to be. If they removed it, they know they had a lot of classic players who would probably write the system off. More people than already do. Like the amount of
yeah.
people who write off 2E just because it's different is mind-boggling to me.
Oh, I'm very familiar. Have you seen my Twitter thread recently?
I don't think I have.
Good, avoid it.
Anyway, Osiris.
Oh no, don't no, it's wild out. Most of my tweets recently have been like promoting Pathfinder products. And if you
Oh, okay.
have it, it's also a great time to be a Pathfinder player right now, just going on stream of consciousness. I mean, we got like Tui has been trending on Twitter for like what 4 or 5 days in a
Is it
row, like
still?
consistently. I think it is. I haven't
No
checked it in
way.
a hot minute. I'll be honest.
Entertainment. Let's
I
see.
don't
I
know
doubt
where.
it.
I doubt it. I've been
Yeah, no, it's
ignored.
not. It's not trending
That
on
sucks,
entertainment anymore.
Craig.
But still, like 3 days though, that was insane.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I had multiple tweets crack like 300 likes, and they were just like standard tweets. It was kind of insane.
my biggest tweet ended up being 350, but that was because I also pissed off an entire like other TTRPG community.
Yeah.
But that is a completely separate conversation. We're here for that sweet, sweet homebrew. So I don't know if people know this or not, but I homebrew everything. Oh shoot! No, I hit the wrong button. No, I want to go to this. Jesus Christ! Oh God, NoNat, you're out of frame again,
Woo! Breaking
guys.
the rules.
What are the
Fight me.
rules? What are the? I don't know if you've seen It's Always Sunny,
I have
but
not. I'm sorry.
oh no, that's such a good show. But yeah, all right. So clearly, my efforts to be prepared today have just gone through the rules, through the roof. But we have a lot of fun, hot, bad takes to go through about Pathfinder in general,
Mhm.
and so one that I referenced to earlier when pitching this concept to NoNat was a tweet from MacArthur, which was Stunning Strike is useless in Pathfinder Second Edition. NoNat, have you played with monks and gotten hit with Stunning Strike yet?
I have not. No, it's I forget. You have to hit with one or both of the flurry of
Both.
blows. Both.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that is
hit
tough.
both,
I
and then
won't
they have
lie.
to crit fail a Fortitude saving throw against your class DC, or
Oh,
they
well, normal
become
fail works too.
Yeah, normal fail gets them stun 1, and then critical fail gets them stunned 3.
Yeah, so it's definitely like a shadow of its D&D 5e twin.
Oh, where like you get stun locked on a fail.
Yeah, and then it's D&D 5e, so it's so much easier to fail. Whereas so many monsters in 2e have such high fortitude saves.
Yeah, I think that definitely an interesting feat to take at level 1, because I feel like at level 1 a lot of monsters are focusing on their reflex saving throws primarily because they're trying to like a lot of like low level spells like that I can think of are dexterity based. You know, you
Like
got
Electric
your
Arc, yeah.
classic electric arc, burning hands,
Yeah.
Horizon
Uh,
Thunder Sphere,
it's
my favorite spell of all time.
damn good. Yeah, no, that's true, and it definitely that is true more so when you're fighting a lot of humanoids, especially yeah when you get the spellcasters and the rogues and bandits and whatnot. They usually do have a pretty high dex save, but once you get into fighting like beasts and like giants and whatnot, that's when fortitude becomes a real problem, and it's tough because that's a lot of that little 5 to 10 range of enemies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm more so worried about stunning strike because when monastic archer monk gets it, they can stunning strike from about 100 feet away easily.
Isn't it 50?
50? I don't know. I gave
Because
I don't
monastic
I can't
archer can only flurry of blows from half of its range increment.
have I been playing with monastic archers wrong?
Yeah.
Chat, yell at me. How
They
could
also
I
say stunning strike is also only one hit, not two.
is
You only
it
have to hit once.
1?
As if you've been playing your monk completely wrong.
It's not my monk, it's my player's monk. I think chat the trade-off is I let them shoot with a longbow and let them stunning strike from about 100 feet away
Yeah, it
every
should be 50.
combat. So I think I broke the rules but solved another one of my issues. All in one move.
Claps for James.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, that's another thing that makes stunning fist worse. Incapacitation.
Oh yeah.
Useless on
If
bosses.
you
Almost
want to
literally useless on bosses.
Nat, why don't you tell the chat, for anyone who's new to second edition, what the incapacitation trait does and why it's so important in 2E?
So, an incapacitation effect always comes with a level. For something like Stunning Fist, it'll be your character level. If you are using this effect on a target whose level is higher than the level of your effect, their success on their saving throw is bumped up 1. So if you use Stunning Fist on a creature who is higher level than you, a crit fail becomes a normal fail, and a normal fail becomes a success. So only if you're fighting a boss 1 level higher than you attack with Stunning Fist, you land a hit, and they crit fail their Fortitude save, they are stunned 1 for 1 round. That is it. It is brutal. It's not as bad on something like this because this is just free. And I will say, that's what makes this Stunning Fist interesting. It doesn't cost a key point or a focus point like 5e.
Yeah.
It's free. It's a permanent upgrade to Flurry of Blows.
Let me ask you this, because in first edition, monks ran with key points being how they do in fifth edition, where you're spending points and you're getting abilities. Do you prefer the focus point route where you're limited to 3 a combat, but when you refocus, you can start being able to use them? So overall, in a day, you can probably get more uses out of, let's say, wholeness of body than spending 2 key points and activating the ability.
It's tough to say. With first edition and fifth edition key points, you just have a daily reservoir. Obviously, focus points in like second edition do come back. Though I will say a lot of people do play with focus points wrong. They think they can spend all 3 of them and then refocus and get all 3 back.
Oh no, you got to take those feats.
You gotta take the feats, yeah. And
Except
you need to use focus points to be able to refocus.
yes, and I think
Yeah.
the other thing is the only class I get the exception to this is the Oracle, but that's because Oracle is all about spamming that
Yeah, to get their curse going.
first going.
Yeah. But
Also,
I do okay.
sorry, I was about to say also just Oracle in general is broken. I just started playing one literally last night with Black Dragon Gaming, and holy crap, life oracles are broken.
Really? I'll have to
Life
look into that.
oracles
Because
get
they're
D12s on a moderate curse. For anytime you cast heal, it's a D12.
true, but you also drain your own life constantly, right?
You get a stat. Every time you get anything with a healing trait, immediately takes a penalty equal to half your level. So like, yes, on the one hand, do I need to live? Maybe, but on the other hand, my friends are gonna live. So if I need a resurrection, I got one in the bag. It's just 10
um,
10 hit points per level will cover anything I need.
true. But back on the original key point topic, I do
Yes.
think I prefer focus spells, especially for those tables that like to run multiple combats a day. When there are a lot of campaigns, and most of my campaigns honestly have like 1 combat per day. Like it almost feels very structured. You're almost never going to run into more than 1 fight in a
Hmm.
single day. So typically, when you go into a fight, you spam everything you've got. But and that's really good for the 5e key point focus. You get your 10 key points a day, you spend all of them in a fight, you're good till the next day.
Yeah.
But in 2e, it still rewards you for using everything you've got, but then you'll be able to still do something if you fight again that day, and it doesn't feel as bad to run out. I can't tell you how many days in my D&D campaigns, whether it's 3.5 or 5e, I don't use all my spell slots. I don't use all my resources because I don't know what's coming, and they often end up feeling wasted.
That's true. I feel that. Try to think of like how I would approach that like mindset, because
Yeah.
I used to go along. I got chat. Feel free to yell at me, by the way, for doing this. But in my infancy days of trying to learn 2E, and I don't know if anyone knows this about me, but I love converting between systems. I love especially fifth edition to second edition because that was my favorite like go to. Everybody liked fifth edition. The access to resources were there. Um, a little guarded by some D&D Beyond magic paywall thingies. But I remember when seeing the key point system, I was like, oh, that was a really cool resource you could track. It was like a trackable resource. And then it took me forever to finally go, wait, I can do so much more with focus points. Like,
Mhm.
because it's not limited down to like, you can't use key points for sorcery points in fifth edition. Like, you just can't do that.
Hmm.
So I really like the synergy between the two different like how focus points are generalized. Like you can use your focus points as a sorcerer to, if your bloodline is draconic, you can, use your breath weapon, or you can use your use your focus point to then cast lay on hands if you have the +1 archetype.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, though there's something to be said about a shared resource. It's a really cool concept that hadn't really been explored too much. Um, and I do think it opens some cool design spaces for sure.
So let's start getting into the homebrew a little bit because this is what the people came for. Well, you, but as well as the
I'm here.
homebrew, free homebrew. Um, so how would we go about upgrading Stunning Strike then? If it's Stunning Strike is the most underrated thing, how do we make it good?
So it's tough. Obviously, you
Hmm.
could remove the incapacitation effect. That
Okay.
would be dangerous,
That
but
would break a lot of mechanics.
it could. But then there's also the thought that you could give this to a GM. A GM could give this to a monster, and it would also be very scary. Um, I think the problem is fortitude saves as a whole. I'm wondering if stunned 2 on a normal fail would be too strong. It harkens back to did you ever play you played first edition Pathfinder, right?
I have played first edition Pathfinder. If
Yeah, you know the shaken, I think it's called, where you only get one action?
Yeah, you beat
Yeah.
the brutal thing of no swift action, no quick actions, no full attack
Yep.
action,
You
no
can take a
immediate
movement
action.
or an action. That's all you get. That's what this would harken back to for me. Which would be make them stunned 2 on a failure and stunned 3 on a crit failure. So on a failure, if they get one action, on a crit failure, they skip their whole turn. Um,
So, what level would we? All right, so I agree that we got to make stun 2 the
I think that would
thing.
be good.
I think that would be good. What level
Because
would this look like though? Because we
I
gotta.
think
This is the fun
I
part
don't.
about 2e is that we gotta balance this with what
Mhm.
appropriate level this will go at.
So I don't know exactly. It's hard to say because it's going to be good at any level. It doesn't matter what level you pick it up. It's pretty much equally as good. I would almost say 2 is fine. I
Level
mean,
2?
I think so because you're still putting it against a lot of other really good stuff. You're putting it against a lot of things like Elemental Fist, Shooting Star Stance as a whole. You're putting it against Crushing Grab, which is really cool. Um, I guess you could bump it up to 4. The thing is, it's not like Stunning Fist is stronger or weaker whatever level you're using it as. There are high level feats. Take Whirlwind Strike. If you got that at a low level, that's just an insane power spike that's super strong at low levels. Stunning Fist, it's pretty much the same no matter what level you use it.
It's true. One thing I really like about conditions in 2e is that they are consistent no matter what level you're at. Clumsy 2 will still
Mhm.
hurt just as much at level 20 as it did at level 1.
Yes, I think it's a brilliant design on their part. Um, and I think level 2 would still be fine. Maybe it would be too strong. I have to see it play tested because the problem with stunned 1 is with 2 actions you can still move and you can still attack at full bonus. And that's all you need to do on a turn. A second attack or a second movement are usually icing on the cake to get a little bit of an advantage, maybe a lucky roll. But if you have 2 actions, you can still take an almost full turn. That's what's so rough about the slow spell in 2e. Um, if they fail and they're slowed 1 for 1 minute. I used to think that slowed 1 was insane. I used to think that was crazy.
I think
The
it
more
could.
I play
I've
it,
seen it. I've seen it hit a high level in getting slowed because I was running a level 18 one shot and my pit fiend got slowed.
mhm,
Slowed one. Having losing that action to like teleport or like command a minion is
mhm,
devastating because that means I can only say move or strike and then maybe command my minion, but then I can't teleport away, so I can't get hit with a spell or something like that. So I
yeah.
I think the slowed condition is in my
Now, was
personal.
this like a full party versus one creature fight?
No, I actually had 3 monsters on hand. It was a pit fiend and 2 low level lower not low level, because mind you, level 18 play means level 14 monsters
Yeah,
are considered low.
yeah.
And I think a level 16 and 14 monster on the map.
Okay.
Um, I mean, overall, I mean, obviously they won. Like they were stuck in hell still because I needed to end the one shot somewhere. And like
Fair.
if we ever want to come back, you are still stuck technically in hell. Um, but I definitely think that the slow. I think losing one action in general is nasty.
It
Like
can be,
whether it.
especially for spellcasters. That's a
Oh,
death sentence.
definitely. I think you're true. It's true in melee based monsters. Your dragon can survive.
Hmm.
Being slowed one because they still have draconic frenzy. Their wings and tail and jaw attacks will still like hit
Chunk
within 15
mega
feet.
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's something we're thinking about as well. Honestly, why Stun 2? Maybe it would be too good. I hadn't thought about Stunned 2 shuts down a spellcaster. If you can
it will.
consistently get them stunned 2, a spellcaster cannot fight back. So that is a fair point. That's tough.
But maybe not
So
second level. What if we bump this to like sixth level or something?
I don't think the level matters there, unfortunately.
Really?
Like the
All
problem
right.
there with Stun 2, yeah, you are giving them the ability to consistently shut down an entire type of character in enemy. And I don't think there's a reason, honestly, looking at that slow is only slowed 1 on a failure, and it's for that exact reason. It's only slowed 2 on a crit fail because if you slow to a spellcaster, they are useless for a minute
Yeah.
on slow. And I will say, what makes slow incredible though is the lack of incapacitation. Maybe just removing incapacitation. Maybe that's the thing. Keep
Wait.
it level
What
2.
if?
Hmm?
Okay. So, chat. You guys are seeing like a live creative mind like thing. I swear to God, we've done no preparation. I just literally pitched the concept of let's make terrible Pathfinder takes into good archetypes and like class feats and stuff like that. What if we make it so if you critically fail, you're clumsy your next turn as you're still coming out of the stunt. You're not
That
like you're like it's like ultimately like a charge down kind of thing.
I think at that point you're adding a little too many words and it's getting a little too fluffy. I
Okay.
don't think the clumsy is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't really go along. Like I think you could do clumsy or stunned. I don't think it should be both. That would be way too strong and just again
Gotcha.
too fluffy. Go do talking a lot of design with my team lately for Sinclair's library. It's all about keeping it simple. You cannot use too many words. Like there have been so many abilities that we've wanted to write that are like it can do this, but if this is happening, it does this instead with this modifier and inflicts this condition. No. It has to do like one thing with maybe a secondary effect. And especially on something like a martial character, you don't want to give them these 2 paragraph long attacks. Um, so it's tough to keep it simple, but keep it interesting. That is the ultimate challenge of game design.
All right, so you know what? Then let's start turning this over to chat, and let's let chat decide what this feat should be. So I've
Sure.
called this feat Stun Lock. You have to have the prerequisites of a Stunning Fist, obviously, and your ability to lock opponents out will cause devastating results. Guys, what is the devastating results? What does that look like? As you have seen live banter of us going right back. Give them the option of trip or push instead of stun. That's interesting,
Interesting.
but my only
Better
argument is there's already a feat for that for monks with flurry of
flurry of
blows.
maneuvers.
Yeah,
Flurry
flurry
of
of
maneuvers, yeah.
maneuvers.
There is a thought on the same train though
Okay.
of a feat with stunning fist as a prerequisite that does upgrade it. That's a thought.
So how would we
Uh,
upgrade stunning fist then?
that's where we could potentially make it a higher level feat. I think it would be nice to remove the incapacitation trait.
Okay.
Um, and that's when you could add an additional effect, I think. That's when you could add something on top at a higher level. But then there's the tough part of do you make that an upgrade to stunning fist or do you just make it a new flurry? Like a flurry
I
of blows
think
that
I think
causes
we need to
clumsy.
upgrade stunning fist as it this was to quote MacArthur Deadly D8, stunning fist is the worst feat in the game, don't Google it. So we need to make Stunning Fist Googleable, aka like another
Stunning.
button on archives.
So another big issue that we haven't really talked about is fortitude save against class DC. Class DCs are notably low. like even compared to spell DCs. Class DCs are rough; they don't increase that fast, and again, Fortitude saves are usually really solid for monsters. So
That's
that's another.
interesting because I know I personally haven't dealt with a lot of characters that use class DC, so it's interesting to
Mhm,
see that take come from you because they should be relatively leveling up. I mean, obviously slower than a spellcaster, but
mhm.
I think it should hit around master level proficiency. Yeah, cap.
I think at cap, yeah. Um,
Ooh, Brant, you came in with a really good. If both flurry strikes hit, then what? Well, let's give it effects. So we've had it. So if one hits, that's a good idea. What if two hits? What is you hit with both of them?
I do like where this is going, but I think if we do go with a both hit, we need to
Hmm.
get rid of the single hit because again, that gets
Yeah.
very
No. We're
fluffy.
gonna completely negate out. If you hit with one, you get to choose. Sorry, no.
Yeah.
I gotta phrase this properly. If you hit with both your flurry of blows, you can activate this, and then what happens? I like this. Let's remove the incapacitation trait, and let's add something. What's something like
So
nasty that we can add?
here's a thought.
Okay.
You are already having to hit twice, which means you are needing to hit at probably -4 using an agile unarmed strike.
Hmm.
What if it is an automatic stunned 1, and then if they
Ooh.
fail a fortitude save, stun 2, crit fail, stun 3? It is always a stunned 1 if you land both blows.
Um, manage to successfully strike with your flurry close. One thing to note, chat, as I write this is look how I am capitalizing certain abilities. Strike is always going to be capitalized. Flurry of
Mhm.
blows is always going to be capitalized. If we were typing a barbarian feat, rage would be capitalized because these are
Yep.
our abilities. So one thing to keep in mind when you're homebrewing is try to stay in line with Paizo as much as possible. If I reference a spell, put that in italics. Like it's at the point right now where if I go write freelancing, I will just immediately think, okay, this has to go into italics. I know, prerequisites need to be bolden. I know if this is like requirement, you're wielding a free hand. Not every word in that needs to be capitalized. Wielding a weapon in free hand. I can
It
speak.
takes it takes a long time to learn. Like traits, especially, you think would be capitalized. No, no. Like incapacitation is not capitalized.
No, that won't be.
Um, Neither are conditions. Um, it's a lot. It takes a lot of getting used to what is and isn't capitalized. My girlfriend was doing some proofreading. I sent her some of the abilities we've worked on for the Kickstarter, and she's like, "Why do they only capitalize these two words?" And I'm like, "'Cause that's how it's done." But you don't capitalize unarmed, just strike. And I'm like, "Yeah." It's weird, but yeah.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
so people are liking um, Eli MacArthur, whoever's on the account right now,
Not me.
where keep incapacitated but
Improve your
improve your
discrete.
degree of. So, like, if you land
It
both blows,
it
it
becomes a
removes incapacitation.
and then it becomes a crit on top of that.
No, I don't think. I think he means
What
on the
is
saving throw.
the saving throw? Interesting.
I don't know. That's where again. That's where you're getting into that. It does this, but if this happens instead,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and that gets really hard to follow. Um, So it would have to be how it works, because that could end up being like when you target the same creature with two strikes from your flurry of blows, you can try to stun the creature. If one strike hits and deal damage, succeeded a fortitude save, blah blah blah. This is an incapacitation effect. If both strikes hit and deal damage, the target must succeed at a fortitude save with the same effects. This is not an incapacitation effect.
See, I think what Paizo, and I'm so sorry, Paizo, but I gotta say this. Sometimes the wording of mechanics are so long that I don't want to pick up the mechanic because I know it's gonna be a headache to figure out what they were
Sure.
intending or meaning.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of classes fall into that. Investigator is a very strong class, but
Oracle.
reading through Investigator takes a minute,
Yeah.
which
Honestly,
ironic for investigators because you actually have to pay attention.
that's the same reason I took Oracle as an archetype instead of my main class on my last character. Like I didn't feel like reading through. everything with the Oracle, from the mystery to the curse to the base class to the spell slots to good god.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward to track. There's a certain Deadly D8 TikTok account that you can check out right now with an exact guide on how to play Oracle. Um, that will detail that out for you.
So, yeah,
So
both strikes
much,
hit and deal damage. Lower the enemy's degree of success by 1. That does make it really good on bosses. That almost makes it overpowered on weak enemies, though.
yeah. I
If
think
you're
that,
fighting something that's not your level, that's insane. So that
yeah,
means, so if you're fighting something that is equal level with you and you hit both, that means it is lowering its degree of success by 1. A success is suddenly a failure, and a normal fail is stun 3. That's too strong.
yeah. That's why I'm really like, I haven't acknowledged a lot of what the chat has been. Don't worry, chat. I still love you, but some of your guys' ideas, when thinking them out, have been a little ooh that. Let's
Well,
let's
so
let's. I like though. I
giving
like where we're
them,
going.
yeah, giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's easier to
Yeah.
go strong and then make it weaker. It's way harder to
Yes.
make it weaker and then try to power it up.
Look at the oh god, what class was absolutely broken when it came out originally? Not originally. In the
Fighter.
playtest, there was fighter. Fighter was not as broken in the playtest. I will tell you
Oh,
that.
really?
I barbarians were really underpowered. Actually,
I still think they are. They're cool. They're
Bar-
awesome. They do a lot of damage when they hit, but
bold take.
I think barbarians are a little bit weak. They're still my
I
favorite barbarians have ever been in any system.
I
I think
disagree.
interesting.
I love
Um,
barbarians.
I miss the strength buff from first edition Rage, where it made you more
Okay,
accurate too.
okay. I do agree with that, but in I can see also the same like mindset of immediately going, well, you're angry. You're probably not going to be aiming very well. You're
Sure.
I don't know if you've gotten angry and then chucked a book. I'm gonna keep using this reference because it's the only thing that I can say without getting TOS to living hell of or making me sound like I hit people often, which I don't. I'm waiting for my brother to immediately run into the room and yell, "Yes, you do!" No, when you chuck a book, you're probably not aiming at the first. You're like aiming for the general direction, but you're not actually like, I'm gonna hit that arm. Like that's what a fighter does. A fighter is like, I'm assessing the situation. That's why I know hitting his left leg will immediately make them drop, like to one knee or something like that.
Right.
With you're a fighter, you're angry. I don't know if you've ever been mad and then like gone to hit something. You probably didn't hit it as accurately as if you like took an extra second to like think about it.
Yeah.
And that's something I really like. Also, +2 to strength in second edition. I get it's a +1 modifier, but I hated adjusting modifiers like
That's fair.
consistently through first
Absolutely.
edition.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
No, get out of my room. Get out. I will chuck it again.
Just gonna call the police real quick. um,
Please
yeah,
chat no.
it's tough. Like, so I played in a campaign where I was a fighter, my friend was an animal instinct barbarian,
Mhm.
and even though I was just a bow and arrow fighter, I did so much more damage than him because I didn't miss.
Mhm.
But he would miss so often, especially against bosses, that he was a bear animal instinct, so he'd like jaw attack, claw attack,
Mhm.
usually miss at least one of those and probably do like 10 to 15 damage,
It's
maybe
so
20 if he
interesting.
rolled high. But especially once I got Eldritch Archer and I was able to produce flame short bow shot with fighter accuracy critical hit for like 8d6 plus 5d6 plus weapon specialization, it was over. Like, sure,
It
he can attack twice, but the second one's always less accurate.
Yeah, I see what you're going with this. I mean, I really do. Back in the playtest, the barbarian never got above expert proficiency in hitting. So
What?
yeah, I had a conversation with Mark Seifter about the old playtest days, and so when they were approaching Tui after the playtest, they had to decide whether to give Barbarian like a +38 damage bonus, but keep him at expert, or give him Master, and then like slowly upgrade their rage damage.
That would have been an interesting play style.
Imagine
Like
a
you are going.
plus 38 damage.
I kind of actually love that thinking about it. Like you miss half of your attacks, but when you hit, it's like 3 attacks in one.
Oh my god, that would be
That would be really
fun.
fun.
You
Ooh,
know
I need
what?
to go
Let's make
back
that a
and
homebrew feat real quick.
making this.
Uh,
Well, it'd be.
a level
Oh,
1 class archetype feat.
is that what the Fury Instinct needs? Because
What?
Fury, can we all
Just
agree
bonus
that
damage?
Fury is a garbage subclass for
It
Barbarian?
is. I
Like it
mean,
needs something.
I like the additional level 1 feat, but it should be closer to a
But
fighter. Wait,
there's
hold on. It
no
should be
good.
closer to the fighter. Like, wait, hold on. Sudden charge.
Yeah, and
Brutal thrower. Wait, that's 8th level. Shoot, I gotta remember barbarians now.
yeah,
These,
yeah. They
this
only
is a
so
class I don't touch.
they only have 7 level 1 feats. One of them gives you smell. One of them gives you the ability to cast spells when raging. Really
It's not
useful at
even
level 1,
spellable
by the way.
raging. That's just a moment of clarity. You're not even
Yeah,
raging at that
I
moment.
know. One of them gives you the
Range
ability.
thrower. Range
Yeah,
thrower. You can
sure.
chuck things.
Okay, but then why do you want to take that if you're sudden charging into melee?
Don't.
Dude, Fury is so bad.
You
Like,
could demoralize via the
you sure
range
could.
trait with raging intimidation. I never thought. Yeah, Fury is my least favorite instinct, by the way.
Well, that's the problem. It's my favorite. Flavor-wise, it's my
Flavor
favorite.
wise, it's awesome. You're just
But
angry.
it's
It's
just so useless. It has the lowest damage bonus, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand that either because you're trading away like freaking Titan instincts, which have like a plus 18 by the time you're level 20 to their rage damage, can also transform when they go into their rage into a huge creature if you take the right feats. So like
Yep.
not only are you getting 15 extra feet of reach, you're also like hitting with the most damage, like
Yeah,
toppling even that of the Draconic.
I think the way Paizo defends Fury is their raging resistance at level 9, because they resist all weapon damage.
But that's weapon damage. I'm at that level. You're dealing with spellcasters way more
Exactly!
than you are anything
Spellcasters.
else.
And guess what? Monsters use natural weapons, which they don't resist.
Yes. Thank you, NoNat.
I know.
Let's give wait hold. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that right now. All right.
Well, let's finish Monk. Let's finish
Monk. Okay, finish
We
Monk.
went on a tangent.
God, ADHD brain going everywhere right now.
Mood.
This is what it looks like, by the way, chat, when I go to homebrew things. It's, oh, I got an idea. I'm going to put this feat here, write half of it. I'll come back later. I'll fix it. And then I go to push it out to release.
Finished feats.
I have like 15 projects open with like half like a feat or a class written, and it's just like, I'll get back to it.
Same. So the thought people had was remove incapacitation.
Okay.
If they both hit, reduce their success by 1 stage, but make it stunned 2 on a crit fail.
All right. I think I know how to word this. Okay. So let's tackle this one by one. So the first thing is we need to remove the incapacitation trait. Yes. When you succeed on both of your flurry of blow strikes.
I think the correct wording actually should be if both strikes hit and deal damage.
Both. Oh, okay.
Yep.
When both strikes succeed a hit and deal damage from flurry of blows, the incapacitation trait is removed.
No, I think we're removing incapacitation completely.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, hey, the bot's back.
No! No! No, chat, stay with me. Okay. No.
But they're waiting on us.
Guys, it'll be there when we're done. Just let's get through the homebrew.
Who's playing an android? All right.
Removed from stunning fist.
Well, no. So I believe incapacitation does not exist anymore, like at all. So is this not replacing stunning fist?
I thought we were upgrading stunning fist when you.
I don't know what we're doing anymore.
So
I thought
confused.
We were fixing
I thought we were. I thought we were upgrading it. The point of this was to upgrade Stunning Fist, not completely replace it.
Because I thought the problem is that Stunning Fist doesn't work as a feat.
I thought we were in agreement that it did work. Guys, this is what writing looks like. This is what Paizo looks like every single day, is one creator yelling at the other.
I don't know. Like,
all right,
it's hard.
Let's upgrade. Let's just
Stunning
upgrade
Fist works
Stunning
on
Fist.
spellcasters. It doesn't work on marshals, basically.
Yeah. All right. So, you know what? Let's use the prerequisites of Stunning Fist. Let's remove the incapacitation trait. When...
What's easy is we can just rip the wording right out of Stunning Fist for most of this if we just edit it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Stun Lock, in parentheses, replacement of Stunning Fist. There we go, guys. Oh god, that formatting looks like hell. Stunning Fist. Oh, you know what? I got Stunning Fist Volume 2. Alright, Stunning Fist is a second level feat or first level feat?
Second level feat.
Second level feat. Alright.
Why is my writer trying to type in white text?
Because silly editing stuff, of course. Okay. So, when you succeed and deal damage using Flurry of Blows with both of your strikes.
So let me write this out because I know what Eli MacArthur, whichever one's on the account, is trying to say. Deals. I'll send it over your way. You can copy paste.
Okay. Cool.
So basically, we're copying the initial text.
Okay.
Sans incapacitation. Or be stunned 1 or stunned 2 on a critical failure. So we're nerfing that, but we're getting rid of incapacitation. And then if both strikes hit and deal damage, the target treats their saving throw.
Eli, you're right. I haven't been reading chat. I've been so preoccupied. I've been dealing with NoNat shenanigans. When you're in the face of glory, you could only choose one or the other. It was either paying attention.
Try that.
All right. Thank you, Discord. Let's throw this into the homebrew document, and then let's move on to something that isn't this, because my brain is...
Chat. I'll read out what I think we decided on was when you target the same creature with 2 strikes from your flurry of blows, you can try to stun the creature. If 1 strike hits and deals damage, the target must succeed at a fortitude save. I forgot the word save against your class DC, or be stunned 1 or stunned 2 on a critical failure. If both strikes hit and deal damage, the target treats their saving throw result as 1 lower.
All right, we like this. Yeah, we like this. Let's do another hot take, and let's talk about it.
I'm trying to think of any feats that I think are just garbage.
There are some, but... So, I'm going to just talk about a few while you start thinking of some of the responses I got. So, Ian James, also a friend of the show, said that CMB and CMD, for those who don't know, from Pathfinder 1st Edition, your combat ability bonus and your combat maneuver bonus and your combat maneuver defense, grapple flowcharts, incompatible yet identical splat books subsystems. Not gonna read that bit. And level 16 capstone adventure paths that'll take over 2 years to finish. I can only deal with so many of these. NoNat, what would if you had to introduce combat maneuver bonus in combat defense, what would you think that would look like?
It already exists. It's called the appropriate saving throw with a skill check.
No, I think you should roll against each other and see if it works.
I believe now. Don't get me wrong. I am a firm believer that there's no such thing as too much dice, but I am a firm believer in overcomplicating things. And I believe
more complicated.
What's that?
I think we need more complication. If Pathfinder 2 he wasn't crunchy enough, apparently.
Because tell me what's there's here's the comparison. Combat maneuver versus combat maneuver defense is like base attack bonus plus the associated stat against their base attack bonus plus. I don't even remember how combat maneuver defense is calculated.
You're on the right path, at least.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
Google it.
then they both roll and they add the appropriate modifier versus rolling athletics and comparing that result to fortitude modifier plus 10. Like fortitude mod plus 10 is so much easier than calculating a CMD and rolling it.
Why are there so much errata? I just want the character sheet. Paizo, please don't make Pathfinder 2's errata look this long. I'm begging you. There is just so much. I'm not even gonna look at it.
Oh, that's right. And like size had an effect
Oh
on your
yeah, I
CMD
forgot
and
about that.
CMD, which that does affect grappling now, but doesn't affect everything. Doesn't affect like trip, I don't think.
Oh my god.
Let me see. So God. So CMB is base attack bonus plus strength plus size mod.
Okay.
Combat maneuver defense is 10 plus base attack bonus plus strength plus dex plus size mod. So you didn't even roll combat maneuver defense. It was still a DC.
What? I thought you had to roll. See, this is why I don't do first edition. I homebrewed everything to be 2E.
Okay, you want to hear my hot take? You want to hear my hottest take that
let's hear
brought up?
All right, let's do it.
THAC0. I love THAC0. THAC0 is so easy. The enemy has an AC of 3. Look at my chart. Okay, I need a 16 to hit a 3. I rolled a 13. I missed. It's not 15 plus 9 is 24. How does that compare to his armor class? 22. I hit. It's just, what do I need to roll? There it is.
I don't know. No. Hard disagree.
THAC0.
Disagree. All right. How would you bring back that THAC0? All right. Let's.
In 2E, I would need a lot more.
I think it's impossible.
I think it's impossible in 2E. It's because the thing that made THAC0 work is it was a world with less modifiers. There weren't all these bonuses to attack rolls. There weren't all these minuses to armor class. The most it got to, I think, was like denying dex bonus to AC with certain spells. The THAC0 works really well when there's not a bunch of modifiers. In a world of heroism and enlarge and inspire courage and flanking and clumsy, THAC0 would not work. But I adore THAC0 for what it is. Okay, what the chuckles is THAC0? Okay,
should I hit armor class 0. Yes.
2 hit armor class 0. Back in the day, a lower armor class was better. In fact, if you had a negative armor class, you were doing something right. Like if you had full plate mail, you could get like a -4 or a -5 armor class. Basically, to hit armor this was back in the day that your strength and stuff didn't even affect your accuracy. Strength only affected damage. What affected your accuracy was your class. Every class had its own THAC0 chart. So like a level 1, let me find it. Fighter THAC0 AD&D. So like a level 1 fighter who had a THAC0. And I don't know if you want to put this up on screen, but I'll send it to you,
I will.
James.
Okay. Because I like you. This is the only reason why we're getting away with this. I am not about to sit through God.
No. A level 1 fighter had to roll a 20 to hit armor class 0. Once they hit level 3, that increased. So they only needed to roll, their THAC0 increased. So they only needed to roll an 18 to hit an armor class of 0. If a creature had an AC of 6, you only needed to roll a 12. And you had a chart. And it was actually, the character sheets were great. Because at the bottom of the character sheet, you had your THAC0. So they had a 0 in the middle, and you had the dice roll needed to hit it. Plain and simple. We're in deep now, gang.
I threw it up on the screen. All right.
Dude, I love THAC0. It looks so intimidating.
Okay. You have to remember, this is AD&D, all right? With the amount of mechanical math nonsense, I'm not touching THAC0 with a 10-foot pole.
that's the thing. It's not even. It's just different. It's
It
not
is. It
that
is.
much
It's
worse.
definitely a more math based game, but that's what Gary Gygax loved, which was
It
math, especially
is.
first edition Dungeons and
I will say,
Dragons.
when it came to things like artillery and like grappling and stuff, absolutely, that math was bonkers off the wall. But ironically, Thaco is simpler, but it does limit design space.
It does.
Um, you cannot get as crazy with modifiers and different things that adjust Thaco because it gets a lot harder to track when numbers change. Um, I want Thukasavako to hit critical success versus armor class 0. Oh man, no, I like Thaco a lot. It's not that different from the base attack bonus of 3.5 in
It
first
isn't.
edition. And yeah, basically different classes had different charts. You can see this chart is for fighters, paladins, and rangers. Then there was a chart for like druids and rogues, and a chart for wizards and sorcerers, kind of deal. But yeah, that's Thaco. I don't know why oh, that's right. That was just my hot take that I like Thaco.
Yeah,
I just
wait,
like
hold on.
Thaco.
I'm writing the Thaco feat level 0. It's a general
Oh,
feat
no.
that you can take. Requirements: you hate your character sheet.
Hey. All right. What does the level 0 feat do? Is this a feat that any class can take?
Any class can take. You can be a 0th level character and still play with this.
So instead of using weapon proficiency, comma, you instead gain access to a unique chart based on your character class. As you level up, your ability to hit an AC of specific numbers will increase, period. Weapon potency runes do not affect this number.
Take that +1 Vorpal striking sword out of
here. Imagine trying to say Thukasavako out at your table.
The biggest backbone.
GM, what's the dragon's Thukasavako?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Reference here. I'm gonna embed a hyperlink.
Your armor class is reduced by 20, and all attacks targeting you are reduced by 20.
This is the worst proficiency without level variant I've ever seen. You know what? Just for that, in profit, this is going right into it.
Yes. Yeah, just replace everything I said with that.
Targeting. You are reduced by 20. This is why I love having a profit in chat. Oh my god. This is why I don't like. Alright, this is the hot takes. We are getting into it. If you want my personal one that you actually commented on, hero points are for GMs who are too scared to let their PCs suffer with the consequences.
No, hero points are for GMs who want to give their players a second chance to do something cool.
No, let them suffer with it.
I am incredibly opposed to that GM style.
I know.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Because I forget. Well, at this point, for me, it's more of a meme. It has to do with my reputation at this point, because I've said this. I commented earlier on a tweet about this today. I forget about its existence 99% of the time. So in my at my tables, it's become a running joke that I only give it out on certain occasions. It's Pathfinder 2E's anniversary and my anniversary of playing TTRPGs in general. And those are the only 2 times I will actively remember to give out a hero point. So my players have been, I swear to God, for the last 2 years, have been pooling their hero points, getting ready to use it for a boss fight.
And I know they can only store 3 at a time, right?
They forget about that, and they're at 2.
Okay. See, the way I get around it, I always use the 1 hero point at the start of every session for each player.
That's a good way of remembering it.
Yeah. And my players often forget. I have 3 different players with 3 stockpiled hero points. And what's hilarious, hero points do not always save the day. I've had a player lose 2 hero points and roll a 5, a 2, and a 2. It's hilarious. Because in some ways, that's even more soul-crushing than if you just force them to take the roll anyway.
You want to hear a funny story, actually, real quick, and before we get back to it? Okay, never mind. All right, let's skip. I was playing, I was invited to come on to this guy's homebrew game. It's The Lost Caravan. It's a stream game. It was my first ever, like, live streaming Pathfinder game. I've obviously been playing Pathfinder since its existence. I was a champion of Iomade, and we got lost in the wilderness or something like that. And basically, we needed to find our way back. And I prayed to Iomade. I was just like, "Hey, hook out a goblin friend. I need some champion help." I rolled a nat 1, spent my hero point, rolled another nat 1, became cursed for 2 sessions. And
Only
my
two
shield
sessions.
HP was garbage.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, hero points are just more something I forget than like actively give out.
Um, on the subject of deities and worship,
All right, let's
um,
cover it.
this could be even considered a hot take from me. There
Hmm.
are not enough items related to specific deities in Pathfinder 2e. There are tons of magic items that are just like cool magic items. There are not enough like low and mid level items that were created or empowered by a deity. As an example, in one of my campaigns, my players were all level 1 and they were searching for somebody. And they had no idea where to look for him. So they went to a church of Desna, because Desna, I believe, is a deity of wanderers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Travel. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Explore new places, aid fellow travelers is part of her edict. So one of my players worshipped Desna, went to the place to see if they could help her, and on the spot, I'm like, yeah, this could be cool. So for 2 gold pieces, they donated that to the temple, and in return, the temple gave them a feather. I don't remember what I called it. I might have just called it a feather token. That's not what the actual item does, but um, it was a feather imbued by Desna, where you hold it tight, you think of the person you want to find, and you let go of the feather. And for 1 hour, a magical wind will blow the feather in the direction of the person. It doesn't take you to them, it doesn't tell you where they are, but it was a way for them at level 1 to be like, we know he is in that direction. That is all we know. But it was a level 1 magic item that put them on the right path, and it was super cool as a GM to use it and have them follow this feather for an hour before the magic ran out, and just have to keep moving in that direction because that's all the information they had.
Okay. So from what you just described to me, I have labeled this feat GM, please give me a magic item. It's a first level feat for champions and clerics. So from what I understand is you gain a magic item equal to your level. That will give you a small bonus depending on your deity. This is up to the GM, and it has to
Yeah.
fit story wise. This is going to be a feat that you essentially is like GM take the wheel.
Yeah, that's fair. One second.
So as NoNat is muted, he can't hear me right now. Obviously, he still can, but that means
Sorry,
I could
I'll be right
trash
back.
talk. Oh,
Sorry.
even better, I could trash talk NoNat while he's gone. So, chat, what is your favorite thing about writing homebrew? And more so working with your friends when doing so. Because I really love having NoNat here. This has been absolutely hilarious. But, I need to see how chat's doing, because apparently I've been ignoring you for a little longer than I really wanted to. And I apologize, but like I said earlier, when in the grace of God, you have to act. Okay. Equal to 1 hour, depending on your deity. You gain a specific bonus to aid you class. Oh no, hold on. This item gives you a bonus. Item aid to just do this once per week. Gaining, ooh, I like that hijinks. Gaining a relic with a gift level relative yours, because I don't think a lot of people have realized that the relic system is one. It's a great system. I love relics in 2A, but it's all about ranges. There's no like specific level, so you can still get a minor gift at a low level. Might be a good time to drop the video. Chat, do we want the video now? Do we really want as we finish up writing this feat, we really want do we want to? I haven't seen the guess. I haven't seen a correct guess yet for what the video could be. But let me text NoNat to let them know that we are gonna be RB. All right, I guess we should do the video what you guys all came here for. And I think you guys just want me to shut up so I can get to it. I understand. You come with good ideas. No. So, with that being said, let's watch me talking to a microphone, but not my face be there. And I will see you right after the vid. So stay tuned. Yeah, let's talk about another hot take that we can. What was it like making that video? Because you recently just released one about some of the hot takes that. What was it like reading some of them and then having to choose?
So I ended up agreeing with way more of them than I expected to. I'm gonna be making a follow-up video at some point because a lot of them ended up being pretty lukewarm takes, and I want to get into some of the really, really terrible stuff. But I just got too much solid stuff that I just was like, yeah, why are there why there are too many classes? Give us more subclasses. Come on.
Oh, that is a take. We talked about this last live stream, so we're not going to get into it this one. But
Okay.
I believe there should be more classes than subclasses right now.
Hard to
Because I want to
disagree.
cover more. Wait, hold on. I want to cover more different expansions to the game, like different types of play that you wouldn't see on in a subclass. Like the witch you can't see as a wizard, like, you know, subclass, but it covers like a style of play you haven't seen yet. It can only work as that. Kind of the way the thaumaturge can't really like be a ranger subclass kind of thing.
I think it could be a class archetype.
I'm not getting back into the last stream. I got enough crap from I got enough things from chat last time about this. I'm not gonna rehash it. This is not what we came here for. We came for honest, clean discussion about homebrew.
All right. So what's the last? We've done a lot of low level homebrew. We should do something high level. Are there any like level? Oh, actually, who had a level 20 feat that I hated? I mean, there is the inventor capstone feat, which I absolutely despise.
What is the inventor capstone feat? Because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I believe it's by spending 1 day of downtime, you can change your entire invention to any of the other 2 subclasses, as well as change all of your modifications to anything you want.
That's a lot in a single
Infinite
feat.
invention. Oh, not even 1 day of downtime. During your daily preparations, you can change your innovation to a different innovation. If you have an armor innovation, you can just change it to a construct or change it to a weapon and change all of your modifications you got from your class features.
Okay. So we can both agree, as cool flavor-wise as that is.
Sure.
It could do with a little bit of a rewrite. And obviously, we're both smarter than whoever wrote the feat.
Obviously.
Right? We both
Do
knew that.
Know how many YouTube subscribers?
Yeah, it obviously comes with the more subscribers you have on YouTube, the bigger your brain just increases with Pathfinder.
And I mean, I'm just gonna say, Aaron Shank said it first. I'm catching up to Paizo and YouTube subscribers. I'm only like 1,000 or 2,000 behind them.
you wanna just like shift numbers? You know, I can take on a few of those guys for you, and then.
But yeah, so back on the topic.
Yes.
For me, it feels bad to be able to just change your subclass. You cannot change your subclass until level 19, and then you can be like, I've had this construct invention for 19 levels, but now he's a gun. Like, it doesn't feel good. It should give them a new bonus to their type of innovation, like something specific.
Okay, so let's think about it like this. What it's trying to do is that you're trying to change some of the options that you've taken. Kind of like how the fighter can choose what feats it gets via their battle something. I don't remember.
Combat expertise? Combat training.
Combat training. Okay, yeah. Basically, whatever the feature that gave them like additional
Yeah,
ones that let them change up their fighting style a little bit. So what I think they're trying to go for here is that you can change up some of your modifications that you've taken because there's a
I'm fine
lot.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm fine with fixing it if it's destroyed or broken. I'm fine with changing modifications. I'm fine with changing offensive boost, and I'm fine with the ability to retrain feats faster than other classes. I'm not fine with changing your subclass.
yeah, I think we can both agree on that. I don't like the idea that it's just I've had this thing for 19 levels and now now
Now I'm
it's
just
a
gonna
gun.
now it's a gun. I turned my plate mail heavy super Iron Man armor into a dagger.
Well, I mean, Iron Man could do it, so obviously, that means you
um,
could do it.
yeah. So the question would become, what do you replace it with? Because this is a capstone. This is their
This
big final
is.
class feature.
So what if they were allowed to, during their daily preparation, completely change any modification that they have taken? Not their subclass, not their innovation, but any modification, including their like revolutionary invention, whatever the class feature is. To be honest, I haven't not looked at Guns and Gears as much as like the core rule book purely because
That's
it's
fair.
been out for less of a time. So
Mhm.
chat, don't get mad at me for not remembering all of the class feature names.
No, no, but you've given me a really interesting idea, and I think
Okay.
how we should fix this.
All right, how would we
So
do this?
So it already allows you during your daily preparations to change your modifications.
Okay.
But what if additionally it gives you a second set of modifications to your armor, weapon, or construct that for either one, two, or three actions, I don't know how many would be balanced, you
Mhm.
can swap to the other set of modifications.
So it's like having your backup armor, like it's like having
Yeah,
a backup weapon ready to go, like a
like
modification set.
if we look at some of these innovations, where's all the innovations? Innovations. Um, I don't know where the revolutionary ones are. I don't know how to see these, but like, yeah,
It's level
let's say you
15,
have it
by
in
the way.
level 15. Yeah, but that shows me like power suit, such a huge suit, and all that stuff. Oh, there we go. So to see all 22 modifications for the armor innovation, let's say you have one that is entirely physical resistance bonus. You have all the ones that give you resistance to just slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, all non-magical, and all of that. But all of a sudden, you need to be fast. You can switch your armor into speed mode where you took all the like speed, flight, jumping modifications, and you
Hmm.
can switch back and forth from like combat mode and like travel mode with that level 19 feature. That could be cool. Even in the middle of combat, if you could switch to speed mode, reposition yourself, and then switch back to defensive mode, that would feel awesome.
Okay, I like where this is going, and I think I know how to do this. So what if
Mhm.
it's a 1 to 3 action activity that you can do on your turn? One action, you can replace two modifications. Two actions, you can replace up to half equal to your level. So up to 10? Wait, how many? I don't know.
Well, I think they only have three
They only have
modifications.
3? Oh,
Level 1,
sorry,
7, and 15.
1, 7, 15. Okay, so what if you spend 1 action, you can change your first level one. 2 actions, you can replace your first and second, and then 3,
So
you could just completely swap it out for a new one.
So my thing with that is I think that's too open. I think that is too strong to be able to change it to anything. I think I do think it should be a three action activity, but I think during daily preparations, you pick two sets of three modifications.
Okay,
And then maybe I think for a capstone, it could be two actions. For two actions, your innovation swaps out all of its modifications for the new set, and then you get one action left to maybe move or something. Or like if you have a weapon, let's say you have a one where the weapon's a great sword, and then another set where the weapon's like an arquebus. You could spend two actions, turn your great sword into the sniper, and then you have that extra action to take the shot with it, kind of thing.
I like that.
I
Okay.
think, yeah, I think that's fair. So during daily
2
preparations, you
2
have,
lists
yeah,
of modification.
yep, two sets of three modifications. That for two actions, you can swap to the other um, set.
When you use infinite innovation, you instantly I can type change all of your modifications to new set of modification. I feel like I keep saying modifications over and over again. So right now it reads, during your daily preparation, choose 2 sets of modifications. When you use infinite innovation, you instantly change all your modifications to the new set of modification, and the other gets stored away. The previous set, because what happens to the
This
previous?
ability can be used again to switch back to the original
Alright.
set. So you can go back and forth. Yeah, so like if you're in your speed set and some guy walks up to you with a giant great club, you can just be like, "Hey, defensive, let's go."
I
That would be so cool.
think
Or
that
like
would be cool.
right? Or yeah, like I like with the weapon, you can have one that has all the crazy long range feats, and then you can have one that has all the like close up stuff. I think yeah, this would be really really cool. Now I'm sure there is going to be some strange interactions, say rune capacity. What happens if you swap out of rune capacity?
You lose the ability. Like, you lose the number of... Does it rune
It probably
capacity? It lets you add another rune to whatever,
it lets you add a fourth rune to a +3 potency weapon. Yeah.
and you lose it.
Until
Because you no
you
longer have it until you reactivate it.
okay, so it doesn't lose the rune completely. The rune just deactivates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Um, yeah, that would be really fun. Actually, that would be
Alright, so
such a
let me
cool.
pose this question to you.
Okay.
If you were allowed to have a level 20 inventor, what... Don't actually, like, give me mechanic speak, but just give me concept speak. If you had this ability, what would you have your innovation switch between? Like, what 2?
Straight up, I'd probably have an up close weapon option, and then a. I don't even know if I'd want to go ranged because that would be really multiple ability dependent. Sorry, I promise not to get mechanical. I think it would be really cool to have like a short sword or a long sword or something that can like grow out into like a spear and back. So one has the ability to attack from like 10 up, I think up to 15 feet away, whereas the other one is right up close and personal. Maybe have a shield on hand that you can use with the sword, and then you can just free action drop the shield, extend into the spear. I think that'd be really cool.
I can definitely see some, like, Monster Hunter vibes come out of that with, like, the shield
Yeah.
axe,
Oh,
like
the
that.
yes, the charge blade. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't
dude,
play Monster Hunter. I just know of
if
it.
my GM allowed that, I would absolutely love to have a great axe that switches into the sword and shield. Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna... Hey, NoNat's GM. You're watching this. Allow it. It's
I
cool.
I don't get to play Pathfinder 2e. I always GM.
Yeah.
I'm
Such a...
playing in a
I
5e
know.
campaign and a 3.5 campaign.
I know. I I think Tommy and my friends over at the Lost Caravan are the only times I get to play Pathfinder, like, as a player. So I always go for,
Yeah.
like, crazy ridiculous builds because, like, I never get to do it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I'm hoping to be part of a decent sized campaign soon. I don't know if when that's going to start, but fingers crossed. Because my current new character I'm going to plan, just as we're kind of counting down the last few minutes here in the
Mhm.
stream. My current next character I'm planning to play is a halfling beastkin champion with Everstand stance. The
Ooh.
two-handed shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm hoping my GM will allow me to flavor the beastkin almost like the mongrels in Pathfinder First Edition. Have you played Wrath of the Righteous?
I have not, because
Okay.
I suck at those games.
Fair. Um, the mongrels in that and in Pathfinder First Edition are kind of like Beastkin, but they're much more like legitimately half and half. So like there will be a straight line down the middle of their body where like this side is covered in scales and this side is human skin.
I'm a
Um,
Mog. I'm a half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
but yeah, basically, that's what I want to do. I haven't decided what animal I want my Beastkin to be, but he's going to be a spunky little chaotic good little boy.
Have you considered a dog? I'm Mog. I half man. Make Spaceballs proud.
So actually, before we wrap up here, Deadly
Mhm.
D8 and Aerodynamic have mentioned that there should be a 10-minute cooldown on Infinite
Cooldown.
Innovation. You think?
I don't
I
think
think it's
so. I think it's a capstone fee. I think limiting it
right.
to 10 minutes is gonna
And
okay,
so
come on.
the thing
You're
is, it's not a
already
feat.
gonna
It's
okay.
not a feat.
Oh,
It's a
it's a
class
feature.
feature. Every
Oh, hold on.
inventor will get this.
Let me rewrite this then. This is on me.
So I don't know, because to me, the cool factor of it is swapping in the middle of combat.
Yeah, I like that too.
Like, yeah, from defensive mode to speed mode back to defensive mode, suddenly this super heavy tanky inventor was able to get up on the 50-foot cliff and then get back to being just as defensive next turn. Um, or you were able to shift your construct to fly up, punch something, land back down, and then it turned back into whatever other construct mods you had. Just I don't know.
I like the idea that you can just do it
Yeah, I don't know if that's
as
too
whenever.
overpowered or not.
I don't
Again,
think so.
it would have to see playtest, honestly.
That's true. But I think let's chat, let's all be honest here. Making it to level 19 is a feat on its own. Unless you're doing a
Yeah,
one shot, if you are going from a strict campaign, even if it's Fist of the Ruby Phoenix where you're starting at level 10, that is still a climb to get all the way up there. You should have something crazy by level 19.
it takes so long.
Oh my god. I still have yet to I think the highest my games have ever gotten to like 13, going from
think I got
1
to.
to
I think the highest I've ever gotten is 10. Yeah.
yeah, I think it definitely you just hit a point in the story and you like another AP gets released and you're like, "Ooh, I really want to go play that." And
um, hmm?
I really sorry, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say what I like about all the new APs coming out. I've started cheating with my campaigns, where I'll be
Oh no.
homebrewing, but I will just take chunks of APs like dungeon crawls and stuff, and I'll just be like, this is all mechanically written for me. I can make the story around it. You go here. Like what I just did with my players, they were perfectly level 4 in a pirate town, trying to procure a ship, and I'm like, ooh, Sundered Waves is
I
a one
love that
shot for
one.
like level 5 characters around a pirate theme. So I changed some of the story of Sundered Waves, gave my players a treasure map. They went there and they just went through the entirety of the one shot. Like it was perfect and was so easy on my end.
I
So
love I love that so much because I do the same thing where if I
mhm.
get really lazy and like can't think up of a story, not even a story, I can think of a story. I for me, story is not as difficult as like thinking mechanic stuff. So straight up
Sure.
ripping it out of another AP is like legit genius.
Yeah, it's hey, work smarter, not harder. If someone's already written it
Exactly.
for you, you know?
Exactly. You know, thank you, Luis Loza, for writing the first Fishery Phoenix. I will just immediately steal this for all my high level campaigns.
Right? Oh, you're all in a competition on an island.
Yeah, let's play Mortal Kombat in Pathfinder.
Awesome. All
I
right.
call
Well, did
dibs on
we?
Shang-Chi. All
I
right,
don't know Mortal Kombat enough. I like the guy with the glasses. Is that Luke Cage?
it's Johnny Cage. Luke
Johnny
Cage is
Cage.
another guy.
Luke.
You
Luke
combine two
Cage.
characters.
It's my specialty.
I
All right.
legit love to see the Mortal Kombat film that does that. So, as we're wrapping up, obviously you can find Nonat everywhere. I mean, my Twitter can't really seem to shake him, so I know I definitely could have to see him everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I
It's true.
am eternal.
And I hope to see you guys in the next live stream next week. Same time, same batch time, same broken starting stream as the last two streams that we've done.
Tech
It,
difficulties. Tech
the
difficulties.
difficulties. I I hope to God I'll be a little bit more prepared. Even though I literally I'm getting into this again. But thank you. I hope you guys liked the sniping duo archetype animated video voiced by me, which continues the line of Osiris, which keeps continuity, by the way. I'm very sure making sure that Deadly D8 now is keeping within a continuity. Remember to like this stream because it gets pushed out through the algorithm. Subscribe, fun stuff. Our Patreon is open. Please support our artists. They do amazing work, like you saw earlier today. I've been staring at. I'm not kidding you, like guys. I've had the sniping duo archetype, like that ending frame, as my background for 5 months now. Not 5 months, that's
Nice.
extreme. For a very long time. And it has not gone anywhere. I absolutely love staring at it every time I boot up my computer. Whenever I get my next video, Eli, I will update it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Talk to us on Discord. I'm gonna actually give you guys homework like I did last time. Tell me, what is your insane Pathfinder hot take that you want changed when it comes to the mechanics? I genuinely want to know. Maybe I'll do something with it. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's see where my schedule goes, and we'll go from there. We would never have a continuity error. No. That's why MacArthur's voice has stayed consistent between all of our videos. It has never changed once. And if you like what you saw here, check out the rest of our animated content. Online at 6 dropped about last week. It was awesome. I watched it all more than once. I will admit I am still a sucker for our own content. But yeah, thank you, NoNat, for being here.
Thanks for
I
having
know
me.
you're a very busy person. If you guys also haven't checked out the Sinclair's library of the Kickstarter in general, what are you doing? You are missing out on so much. I know some of the people. That's not true. I know one or two people that worked on it. I know NoNat, obviously. That is you. And honestly, you guys need to support it. I am so hyped to see what was written in it. Not only is it for 2nd edition, but guys, it's also for 5th edition. If you saw here was like this is too much crunch apparently, then yeah, we got a 5th edition. They got 5th edition just for you. So please support them. To sign up for their newsletter. I don't care. Just please support it, because the better this does, the more happy I get, and more likely NoNat will keep getting busy. And if I can steal him for 2 hours, then I'm okay with it. Just please go support him.
Oh, thank you for the plug. I appreciate it. This has been a ton of fun, James. Thanks for having me on here.
Oh, you're always a delight. You know that, and always welcome to come back.
This one, oh, you think this is going to be the last time? No, like you said, you can't get rid of me.
That's true. And with that, I'm going to end it. See you guys in the next stream. Goodbye.